Hi, I'm Rachel Chamness. I'm an Ascension and Lightworker guide at soundwavesheal.com. Today I'll be trance channeling spirit animals, totem animals, power animals, all types of animal spirits for the May Tag Group Masterclass. Welcome to my tag masterclass this month in May 2021. We are talking about spirit animals, power animals, and totem animals, spirit guides with animals. So every month in my monthly group, Transformation Ascension Group, we meet new guides. They can be spirit guides, they can be galactical, they can be angels, they can be elementals, they can be all types of high vibrational beings that we connect to with sound healing and we meditate with and we receive all kinds of help with. And this masterclass is free, so thank you for coming. We usually ask 13 questions and I trance channel the answers, meaning it's a full body trance where I let them speak through me. And of course, I only do this with high vibrational beings. And I also teach 4 levels of classes for trance channeling, which you can find at my site. But today we are going to be asking more than 13 questions because we have a lot of questions for these spirit animals. So I will be asking the questions, telling you who's coming through, and they will speak through me. Now we are speaking to specific animals. They are high vibrational beings that have come to me. I have a condor, which is like a really huge bird, named Jerry. I have a bear called Taulo, an eagle named Andre, who's actually my personal totem guide, and I have a rabbit named Mustini, a frog named Beline, and we might have a dinosaur visit. I'm not sure, I can't promise, but I hope so. They really want to help us this month with the emergence of our root chakra to get to the 5th dimension, because by the 6th dimension, our bottom 3 chakras are going to become one. So this is the first of 3 months where we work on these 3 chakras to bring them in alignment so that we can go to 6th dimension when everyone else goes to the 5th dimension, which is what we're supposed to be doing as light workers since we're leading the way. So I'm going to talk to these beings. Oh, there's also a wolf, and his name is Facette. So I'm going to talk to these beings and ask them the questions. If you have other questions about what is a totem animal, what is a power animal, what is a spirit animal, why do pets come to us, all those questions, we have a beautiful masterclass in tag coming on Monday from tag team affiliate Maggie Wolf. And she has made the most beautiful masterclass for us about how our pets come into our lives and how the differences between power animals, spirit animals, and totem animals, which I also talked about in my blog a bit, but she talks a lot more about that. She's a multidimensional animal intuitive. But today we're talking mostly to spirit animals, so we'll see what happens. I did add some questions like that to these 13 questions, so there are more than 13 questions for sure, and we'll get to them. So we're going to start with Condor Jerry. He would like to answer the first question, which we've changed the questions a little bit. And in fact, in this masterclass, I'm going to not edit it so much. So if you'd like to watch it on 1.5 times or 2 times fast or something like that, you may, but the consensus was to just leave it the way that it is and let you see the process of me trance channeling these answers. So that's what we'll be doing. The question is, why did they choose to come to Earth? So why have these spirit animals chosen to come to Earth? This is the condor named Jerry. Hello. Thank you for coming. We have come to Earth to help. We have always come to help humans in various ways. Some of us in the wild help hold the energy of the planet and help transmute energies around humans or in rural places. Some of us come as pets to help specific humans in our soul group because we are multidimensional beings as well. And yes, you can reincarnate as any type of being you want. So you may come back as a condor yourself, or you may spend your next life on Lyra, or you may spend your next life in another universe entirely. And that is how it works. Many who come to be pets are multidimensional soul groups of the being whom they partner with. So yes, your pets come to you. They have been waiting for you when you find them or when you adopt them, and it is destined to be, and you knew this before you came into this earth. Some do return, and some stay with you in spirit after they pass, but they never leave you. It is a special bond with pets. And even some wild animals have this relationship. If they live in an enclosed place like a zoo with their helpers, they may have a special relationship with a human there. And we understand that you feel sad when you see us in zoos, and sometimes it is very sad, but we all have a purpose, and we have come for that purpose. Even if the life itself will not be a beautiful life for us, there is always a lesson in it for someone. There's always something we have come to do that will help others. This is Rachel. He shows me a tiger, and he shows me something that hurts my heart, which is tigers in I might even cry. Tigers in like a cage, not even like a terrible zoo, but even worse, caged in a very small cage their whole lives. And he's saying that even in that case, the tiger is coming to teach some lessons. There is a reason, and that reason is there. So though we feel bad about these sort of things, they're saying don't. We have chosen this life. And there's a purpose to it that we have agreed to. Before we came into the life, we knew it was going to happen, and that was okay. All right, so the next question is, what worlds do you come from? Although he sort of really answered that already. And how is it similar or different from Earth? Oh, there is a dinosaur. Oh, I'm so excited to talk to a dinosaur. Lali. Her name is Lali. Let's talk to the dinosaurs. Okay. Ooh, the energy is amazing. Okay, here we go. I've never tranced a dinosaur. I'd never even thought about talking to one before this time, this month. It's so crazy. Okay. Okay, what worlds do you come from? How's it Whoa! Hello, I've wanted to talk through this being for some time. I am female, and I am Lilo. Yes, we came to Earth for a very specific reason. There was much to build and do to Earth. As you know, we came to Earth and then we were destroyed on Earth as there was a meteor. It wasn't quite a meteor, but it was a similar event. But you know it as the meteor. I won't tell you what it is. You're not destined to know at this time. But yes, we were on Earth, and we really explored the Earth. We helped it grow, and we laid our bones for future help. Yes, even petroleum and things like that you may not be happy about ruining the Earth to receive, but you use every day in your life. And it is part of the Earth's growth. Of course, you must experience all the things in the 3D Earth. That's why you came here, and that is why we came here as well. We came to experience all the things and to help you going forward. So why did we come to Earth? Ooh, this is Rachel. That's not the question. The question was, what worlds do you come from? Okay, so let's let her answer now. I think she's a T-Rex. Whew. The energy, again, really intense. Okay. Oh, I see. Well, dinosaurs are just multi-dimensional beings. We aren't dinosaurs in another place. You do have some animals who reincarnate as the same sort of beings, such as dolphins. But as dinosaurs, this was a specific thing that was to be made on Earth. So the DNA was made for dinosaurs by extraterrestrials and planted on Earth, and our spirits chose this great honor to be these beautiful beings. Yes, I'm a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it was amazing to be such a large creature on a large planet with large everything, trees and beautiful greenery. It was a great life, and I enjoyed it very much. It was beautiful in all ways, and I think of it often. Thank you for having me. How is this different than other worlds? Well, other worlds can be so different. They can be very, very different because they can be anything. I can reincarnate in many different forms on many different planets, and it's no different than you. So there are no dinosaurs on other places at this time, though there may be in the future. I stand corrected. I'm now being shown there is a world with the beginning of dinosaurs right now, another world that's being cultivated. And so I stand corrected. But for the most part, it is an Earth thing. It's an Earth thing, and it was a great, great pleasure to be here. Okay, this is Rachel. That was cool. I love being a medium. Okay. Woo! Can animal souls incarnate as humans or other forms of beings? Well, they answered that already. If so, where else have they incarnated? Do other planets or galaxies have any of the same animals that we do? Let's ask that last question. They didn't answer that fully. He talked a little bit about the dolphins, but that's it. Okay, so we are going to have Taulo come in, who is a large brown bear with really big claws. I love trancing bears, so let's see what he has to say. Okay. There are many planets with different kinds of animals, but also you should realize that many planets have different beings completely. We may have incarnate mystical creatures, as you call them, unicorns, etc., which are really no different than the beings you have, only you're seeing them more in a soul shape. So you may see them flying, which seems impossible because you have horses. It's just your view. But if unicorns were common here, you wouldn't think anything out of the ordinary about them, of course. So we have all kinds of elementals, fairies, things like that, little flying, speaking things. And of course, animals are always speaking. We're telepathic in this life, but on the 3D plane, but in other galaxies and places that we exist, we will be speaking. And in the 6D, we will be speaking as well. Do we exist on other planets? Yes. Again, the dolphins are on many planets. You have whales on several planets. The dolphins and the whales have their own planet, and they choose to incarnate many times as themselves. They are different species. Some animals come because, as it was said before, they are just reincarnating as a different species come to help. Many of us did want to try and come as humans in this life, but they were limited spaces, and so we came to help instead as the animals on this earth. Okay, he's gone. Okay, so I think he answered it. What I can see from what they show me when they're talking through me is that, yeah, there's lots of planets with animals, but there are also lots of planets with different things that we wouldn't think about, like, where you can see angels and where you can see the fairies, and or they may not have fairies. Maybe they have elves. Maybe they have everything. Very interesting. And I've also seen planets that have all different kinds of beings there. So you may have started this masterclass thinking that it was a really beginner level of talking about spirit animals and everything like that, but really, just like everything else, they're galactical. So even fairies and angels say to me, well, we're galactical too. And they think it's funny that humans put them in these categories, but we're 3D and we're just trying to make sense of everything, which is what I tell them all the time. Okay, so the next question is, why have you come with this group, and what do you have in common? I'm getting a lizard this time. This is not on the list. That's okay. I am DP. I am a lizard. I'm a regular lizard like you see on this planet, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity to speak through this one whose child has such an affinity with lizards of all kinds. Even the good ones who masquerade on your planet. Not every species is 100% evil, you know. Everyone has a good side, and there are good and there are bad of every type of being. Did you know that? I felt it was important to come in here and say that. Okay, I'm kicking him out because I'm like, yeah, thank you. We do need to know that. But if you didn't know that, there are good reptilians too. There may be a smaller amount of them on our planet, but that's true. But I feel like I've forgotten the question, and I want this lizard to answer the question. What do you have in common with this group? Okay. What we all have in common is that we come to Earth to help. We come to help you through this ascension process. I had this one skip the question about going through ascension as animals. And that is because, yes, we've all been through some sort of ascension on every planet. Although maybe I said that badly. Not every spirit has experienced the ascension process, which is why so many of us are excited to experience it with humans this time around. We have seen ascension on every planet. We've seen it from the other side, what you might call heaven, or the other side, as this one calls it, as spirit form. And many of us have watched it happen, or we can view it happening in many timelines and many times, meaning back in time, forward in time. Time has no meaning once you are 5D. And so this time we are very lucky to come here and experience it with you. So that is the answer. Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening. Okay. He had a little agenda, which I think is actually cute. And it's good to know that if you didn't know that. That's pretty much my 10-year-old son's mission in life, is to let people know that. That he talks to the good ones. Not very often, but he does. And he loves lizards of all kinds. A little about me. Okay, so how do you help with ascension? Now, this is a good question. They've said they've come to help us with ascension, but how do they help us? Okay, so, I'm feeling it. The rabbit Mustini would like to talk. Oh, he's a big rabbit, gray, big ears. Do such large rabbits exist? I wonder. Maybe he just shows himself to me really big. Okay, here he comes. As 3D animals, we help a great deal with grounding. And that is why we have come this time for you and Tag to help you with your Root Chakra, which is a very grounding third dimensional chakra. Many of you are quite diligent about grounding into the 5D, which you must do every day. However, how many of you ground into the changing 3D landscape? Your 3D Earth is changing. Your Schumann resonance is changing. As this one says, it needs a new name, for it is not the Schumann resonance anymore. And it is important that you ground into these changes, because that will help you going forward. That will help you have less ascension symptoms. We'd like to bring your third dimensional root chakra up to line into the 5D. It is very important that we get these bottom 3 chakras spinning in their 5D counterparts, so that when it's time for 6D, they become one. That is really why we're here. That's a big part of why we're here, especially for this month. But there are other reasons we are here. That is to help you all with your transformation. For ascension doesn't just happen to you. You must do your work, learning spiritual concepts, rejecting what you have been told to think. This is a great big part of ascension that we are just beginning. I say we, for I am here on this planet at this time helping from afar. I am not a pet, but I am a ruler of many rabbit spirits in the wild. You may call me a rabbit king. Perhaps that makes sense to you. It's not really how I view myself, but I can see that that makes sense in this mind that I'm speaking through. And so you must do your work. You must release things that are no longer serving you. In this third dimensional to fifth dimensional time split that we are coming to, you may have to release members of whom you call your circle of friends, or maybe even some family members who you may love from afar, but maybe are unable to even speak to anymore. Some things have changed for many people, and it is difficult at this time. I ask you to be kind to those who have chosen the 3D path. You are not to feel sorry for them. It is the path they have chosen. They have come to help you with duality. And so you must be kind and non-judgmental and accept. We've come to help you with so many things like this. Mostly we help you with the 3D side of going 5D. So shadow work, especially as pets, we come to you to help you with shadow work. We help you see what you need to fix. We help you see what you need to let go of. This is a really important part of your ascension. So again, ascension doesn't happen to you. You must work and learn, and all will be well. Many blessings. Okay. Okay. Whew. All right. Next question is, what form do you take or look like? We're going to skip that because I think it's pretty obvious. They come in all kinds of animal forms. We know what they look like. And they have told us that it's too varied, their spirits. So we're going to skip that one, but we have plenty of extra questions. Whatever animals come through, what is their medicine and how do we work with it? I want to bring in the eagle, Andre. This is actually my totem spirit animal, one of them, the one that I know. I have many to learn about. Just like you, I learn every month in tag. It's not things that I'm always an expert in. And in fact, I'm just a channel. I'm bringing in the information for me and for all of you. Okay, so Andre would like to answer this question. He is an eagle. I could answer this question for hours. There are so many kinds of medicine. In fact, I do not want to start that with this masterclass, but I will tell you that we do have specializations, and you have quite a lot of information about this already in your archives, and we love to help. However, we feel that this masterclass should be more centered on how you can call us to help you, and for us to get into this kind of explanation could take a very long time. So the short answer is you may buy a book or even oracle cards about spirit totems and begin to learn about them and what we do for you. And we suggest this, and that you work on it often. Work on learning them one by one. Work on using these cards as a part of your daily or weekly work. As part of your daily or weekly work, that will help you very much, for we are very present and we can help anyone work on themselves, learn your totem animals. This helps with shadow work. This helps you move forward. And so we ask you to research this yourself, and this one can help you. Well, I was hoping you would at least tell us about the eagles, but apparently it's a really long subject and this is already getting long. So he's saying, he's showing me the animal medicine cards, which Maggie Wolf talks about in the masterclass, and I have them too. And she really talks a lot about that in her masterclass, and it really is important that we learn our animal totems, and it will help us with shadow work. So I love that he said that. That's what Maggie said too. Okay, we know that they've incarnated in human form on Earth, which is the next question, because they said that they do. They said not in this time, for in this time in Ascension, they were a lot of animals were unable to get a place as a human, so they came as animals instead. Or some of them maybe chose to be the animals instead, because they suffer less than we do for the most part, although there are much suffering of animals here as well. What is your main advice you would like to give concerning ascension or earthly energies? This is the frog, Beline. I am Beline. Though you are light workers and you spend a long time in the upper realms, we remind you to ground and connect with nature. This is the earth energy that you must work with every day, which is why we also encourage you to work with animals, spirit totems, power animals. We wish to help as much as we can, and you must call on us and include us in all the beings that you talk to. In fact, I am so glad we are finally here in TAG to talk about this, for this is the first time that animals have come forward, and it's been much needed. And so we are here. You must work with us in many, many ways, more than you are doing now for many of you. For those who have worked a lot with us already, thank you. Thank you for doing so. He felt very strange. I felt like Jabba the Hutt a little bit. Well, maybe not that big, but I felt like it was sort of... Okay. We have several questions and we're getting long. So, what frequency dimension are you from, and do you have an ego? We'll combine those two questions. And the rabbit, Mustini, would like to come through. I personally am from the 10th dimension. And yes and no, we have egos, but we are in control, meaning that our shadow ego does not overcome us. But we do have egos in that it's not completely perfect yet. We have other work that we do with each other as spirit animals that is separate from the work we do on Earth and is not this time to discuss. And that is the part where we still use our ego. If you are worried that you need to leave presents for spirits as you do for fairies who have egos, it's nothing like that. It's different. But we can't say we are completely without ego at this time. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Now we have, how do they feel about being eaten or hunted? Okay. I want to say that if you're vegetarian or vegan and this question is really like offensive, then maybe you should skip this part. It's sensitive, right? I also think that we should be very, very invested if you eat meat on where you get that meat and that the animal was well treated and not tortured. Pastured animals on a farm, this is really important. Know where you get your meat. You don't want to be eating animals who were horribly mistreated and lived terrible lives, because you will be eating that fear, and that is not going to help you at all. So if you eat meat, you must be very mindful as you can be. That is my advice as a psychic. But of course, I'm going to bring in, actually, we never talked to the wolf, and he's saying this is better for him. So we're going to bring in Facette. How do they feel about it? Of course, he is a hunter on this earth, right? I am Facette. Yes, wolves are hunters on this earth, of course. However, we are hunted as well. I am trying to bring this medium into a deeper trance as she wishes to completely leave so that the ego is not interspersed with what I want to say. There are cycles on Earth, and we are all a part of them, and so are you. Being hunted and hunting are a part of being animals. We all know our entrance and exit on this earth, even your pets. For millions of years, humans have eaten meat. It is what has always sustained them. You will be relieved to know that if you are still eating meat and you are unable to be in health without it, that eventually in the 5th and 6th dimension, that will no longer be necessary for the health of your body. For in that time, there will be greater sentience in the animals as well. For not all of us have the component of this spirit in which I come to you. I am not on earth at this time. Let us talk about the cow. The cow has a limited ability to receive spirit information such as you. You have the power of amnesia, or the veil of amnesia as it's called. So does the cow. It comes to be part of the cycle, to experience a simple life. And it is not bothered in its spirit to be eaten at the end of its life. There are many lessons to be learned about the treatment of animals here. Of course, you want to avoid any suffering of the life cycle of the animal. Suffering at death is going to be the same for animals and humans and all life forms in a 3D planet, in a 3D world. However, suffering during life, you must fight against. It is part of your humanness, your human nature, and part of your life cycle on this earth. We want you to fight against that. So choose wisely. And if you eat meat, so does the wolf, so does the cat, so does the bird even. Maybe you don't consider worms meat, but I do. Okay. Well, that was risky. I'm sure there'll be haters for that. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you what they're telling me and what I've heard many times. I was also a vegetarian for a good portion of my life. Okay, and it's true. I mean, at death, we also have many, feelings. I remove past lives from people, meaning that I remove the effect of that past life on this life. And I'd say 90% of the time that the problem is more with the way that there was so much fear in the death itself. So it's kind of hard to circumvent that. So, okay. If humans incarnated as an animal before, is that why we have such a strong connection to certain animals? This is the next last question. The rabbit with Mustini wants to come in. It's not that simple. For you are connected to us because that is part of human nature. It is part of your DNA. You share a lot of DNA with 3D animals. And though all of our spirits may come from somewhere else, your spirit may come from Lyra, my spirit may come from Andromeda, it does not matter, because here on 3D Earth, our DNA is in tune with each other. So that is why we have such a feeling for each other. Oh, that makes sense. I like that. Are herbivores more highly evolved than carnivores? Ooh, my third eye. Okay, it's the wolf again, Facette. In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. There are many, many types of animals. You have to remember there are pets, there are meat stock, there are wild animals, there are zoo animals. There's many different types of animals, and so we view these in different categories of how we come into incarnate, and it's all very different. Everything has its place on this earth, and nothing is out of balance except for where animals are being mistreated for unimportant or trivial reasons, such as tortured for makeup or other ways of lab testing, and restrictive zoos, and harmed by pet owners who are cruel. That's something different and is still on your planet because of the way you must experience duality. And there's much duality in this whole subject of eating meat or not eating meat. There are many humans on this planet who cannot stomach eating meat, and that is a beautiful thing, and we thank you for it, of course. And there are many who still eat meat and feel very guilty about it, and we'd like you to not feel guilty, but to be mindful about the meat you do eat. And in that way, we can find a balance. Just like the balance in the wild, or the balance with your ancestors. Balance in this earth is very, very important. And that is why we have come this month to help you with this balance on your earth. You are balancing 3D and 5D earth. You are balancing many things. We are helping you with the balance of the earth, for the earth itself needs to be rebalanced. That is all what Ascension is for. Ascension for the human being, Ascension for the planet. And we will reset the planet. We will. And we thank you for the help that you have given us. And we bless you, and we ask you again, please speak with us. Please become in tune with us. It is very important for your development. Okay, this is Rachel. That's all the questions. Thank you so much for coming. I thought that was really enlightening, and I thought it was really interesting. I have done many, many, many months since 2018 of this tag group with many different kinds of beings, and I've never brought animal spirits through, and I never even thought about it. And of course, they're saying it's a huge whole, and that it's a really important part, that we really need to do it. And so asking you to watch the masterclass from Maggie if you're in tag, if you'd like to join tag and take advantage of meeting all types of beings who can help you with ascension, and they give us all kinds of gifts, and we attune to them with sound healing. They help us with manifestation. There's meditation every month. So there's over 300 videos, including light working videos and all types of things. So if you would like to join, you can go to soundwavesheal.com/tag. I'd love to see you there. If you're in tag now, then look for Monday when there's another masterclass by Maggie Wolf. That's going to be really helpful for this month and really, really helpful going forward. So thank you so much and have a beautiful day. Please subscribe to my channel if you're watching on YouTube and like this video. I really appreciate the help. Please share it with your friends. I think this is really important stuff. And thank you so much.